Well, hi. Today is Thursday, February 12th, 2026. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. For folks who have lived in Council Bluffs for a long time, you're going to remember this name. It's Craig Carlsen. Do you remember back when Craig used to be on CBTV 17 and did a lot of work for Iowa Western and was very prominent in the community? Well, here's the thing. Craig's still out there. He has been doing some great work for the Council Bluffs Visitors Convention and Visitors Bureau. And also, he's about to do some great work for us as we will be launching a sports show very soon called Bluffs Sports Weekly, and it's going to be hosted by the familiar Craig Carlsen. And we want to sit down with Craig and learn a little bit more about what he's been up to, about his passion for this area, about how he's never lost his passion for sports, and some of the different things you're going to be able to see on the show. So that is coming up today. It is Craig Carlsen joining us on Morning Coffee. Morning Coffee brought to you by Steve Erlob, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Council Bluffs. Learn how he can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Bloomworks Floral, bringing beauty to Council Bluffs for years with fresh floral arrangements for every moment worth celebrating. Specializing in creative wedding designs, also stunning sympathy flowers, thoughtful gift bouquets, prom accessories, and even local deliveries. So whether you want blooms for a special event or just to brighten someone's day, Bloomworks Floral combines local charm with expert craftsmanship. Visit ebloomworks.com. And after a 2-year renovation, this true downtown Council Bluffs landmark is open once again. The Park Building, hosting the studios on Willow, and we'd love to have you as a neighbor because this building is fully refreshed with all new finishes. You're going to see updated HVAC. You may have driven by the building and noticed that there's not window air conditioning units sticking out anymore because this place has central air. There's also a lot of modern amenities that kept the historic charm and that makes this building so special. Office space is available, single room from $450 per month. You might get a full floor suite at $15 per square foot. And there's a lot of shared spaces as well with a flexible 12-month lease and even guest Wi-Fi. The Park Building is open and ready for your business. Get a hold of Mark Hanwright at Heartland Properties if you would like to learn more. Welcoming into the studios on Willow, a man who spent a large part of his career on this side of the camera. How long has it been? This is Craig Carlsen, by the way. How long has it been since you've been had a camera pointed at you like this?
Boy, it's been a couple of decades since I've been in this realm. I suppose when I was working with Pottawatomie County,
Yeah,
I did some PR stuff that way, but
a little bit, but
a little bit different than this.
It's a little different now.
It's
Yeah.
a little bit lighter than some of the natural disasters that swept through Pottawatomie County
Right.
a couple of years ago.
So this is an announcement of sorts. We've been talking about it, but we're going to learn more about it, that we are bringing a sports show to Council Bluffs. Here's our host right here. We've dusted off everything, and I didn't.
Lots of dust.
I didn't smell any mothballs.
I don't
so
know.
I think you've been preserved
Yeah,
well.
I don't know if you were smelling.
But this is exciting. What's happening here with Bluffs Sports Weekly, presented by Waldstein Plumbing, and yeah, we got a title sponsor already, and that's because there's an excitement about this.
Dude, there's always been an excitement about local sports, man. And I'll be honest, you told me some of your plans, and once you started, I think you came in with a game plan when you pitched this idea. I mean, he was tugging on some heartstrings there. Local sports, I came into Council Bluffs not knowing anybody, to be honest with you, and my passion for sports led me to develop a lot of close relationships throughout the community, and I've stayed because of those relationships. And so once you started speaking some of my language, it didn't take very long for me to say, okay, talk to my wife and make sure she's cool with it, and let's roll, man.
Well, it's not so much, I think, I wasn't setting out to speak your language. I think what it is we just speak the same one.
Sure.
Because when we met and I started talking about the ideas and the why behind it, I could see your eyes, and you're like, this is what I already believe.
Absolutely.
And that's why when I reached out to you and we first started talking about this, that I knew you were the perfect person to slide into that chair, because you already believe about community.
Mm.
You believe about supporting where we live.
Mm-hmm.
You believe that it is our job to highlight and promote the young people that are out there competing on the court, the field, the lanes,
Mm-hmm.
wherever it is. I didn't have to sell that to you because you already believe it. And that's what you were living before.
Well, I felt very honored that I was even thought of. It had been a long time since I was on the air at CBTV 17, but like I said, I think we had a pretty good run. I think not just the parents and the grandparents, but when the coaches and the athletes started tuning in regularly and kind of commenting on different things that they saw as part of that show, it really brought a lot of pride in knowing that we were doing our best to, like you said, promote the local sports, the local athletes. And actually, close friend of mine had told me that he felt like that exposure changed the perception statewide of local athletics in Council Bluffs, and got chills just talking about it, to be honest with you. So that's high praise. But I think when CBTV went away, I think it did open the door for this kind of possibility to fill a need, and I hope that we're able to provide a good service to the local athletic community. So
I think it has taken a while for technology to reach the point where we are at now that we can do this.
Sure.
Because, listen, it takes a lot of people. Back when you were doing it, there was a lot of moving pieces to everything. And now it's much more streamlined. So we can take advantage of the technology that exists and use our knowledge to put it together in a way that has the same feel as what it used to. That you sit there in front of the camera and behind the desk, or however the set's going to be. I don't even know yet because we've got a lot of things to still put together.
Yeah.
But as you're doing that, that, hey, we're talking about the young people here, and you also know that it's not about you.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and I think it's important, sports is fun, man. It just is. Yeah. It's just fun. And like you said, we speak the same language, and we're going to have fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. And, going back to those roots a while back when I was doing regular programming, we spoke to the kids in a certain way. And I think that's how I had hoped this show rolls out too, is that it's fun, it's exciting, it's energetic, it's informative, all of those things, and paired into one awesome package to promote athletes in Council Bluffs. And so what a cool way to inform local audience about what's going on in Council Bluffs.
And we need to encourage people, anybody that's watching this, we're going to need some help. We need to know what it is that you want to see, some of the different things that we can highlight. I know that we've already talked about it, that the major sports, that's the low-hanging fruit.
Sure.
But we also want to talk about some of the other sports too.
Yeah.
When the tennis team is out there, or the bowling team, or boys swimming's going on right now, and we'll have girls swimming in a different season. All of these athletes are pouring their heart and soul into what it is that they're doing.
Absolutely.
And if we respect that, we report on that in a way that highlights and honors that, I think this is going to be very successful, and I think we're going to see something grow out of this. And a little bit of patience too, because we have our own learning curve. We're creating something out brand new.
You mentioned dust in the first couple seconds, so yeah, absolutely. No, I'm excited, man. I'm like I said, I'm super grateful that you even considered bringing me on board, and I'm really honored to take that step and really come back into the realm a little bit and start speaking my language again. So I think it'll benefit everybody. And like you said, it does take a lot of communication two-way communication. Sure, we present the highlights, we present the information to an audience, but we also rely on the information coming in, and so we need to know about who's having a hot streak. We need to know that so and so is missed the last 3 games and is due. So those are the kinds of things that I think will help us provide, like I said, meaningful content and accurate information that helps inform everyone. So
well, there's a lot of schools in town, and everybody talks about the 4 main ones, but we also have Heartland Christian. We've got Iowa School for the Deaf.
Sure.
We have a little college that may or may not have a little bit of success.
A few natties,
just a few.
Yeah.
There's so much to be proud of and so much to talk about, and we need to be doing that here. This fits right in with what we're seeing and the push to bring the pride in Council Bluffs out of the shadows. That's what's going on in town right now, that we need to be talking about it. And this is just another step of that be proud of the local athletes. We just had up the Iowa West Sportsplex, and they just put up, all of the professional athletes that went onto that wall. And that's the reason for that. A lot of these young people that we're talking about, there's going to be some of those you're going to see
100.
One day
100.
Go up on that wall.
Absolutely, man. I'll be honest. That was some of the most fun about my past life in broadcasting, is being able to see, a freshman Jake Waters at St. Albert play baseball, he's going to be a good one in football, and then go and win a couple state titles, and then do what he did, moving into Kansas State and do, getting a shot at the NFL. And that's just one, there's so many different local athletes that I'm so grateful that my career has been able to cross paths with, and that will continue. That will continue for a very long time. There's a great amount of athleticism throughout this entire community, and I think it's time that we celebrate it in a broader spectrum. Let the rest of the state see Southwest Iowa is not a forgotten area, man. We are primed for some really strong runs at some state titles, and let's brag a little, man. That's okay.
Let me ask you a question. When when you were doing it, and I know that you've seen it from some young people that you were covering back then that eventually made it to the pros at whatever the sport was.
Yeah.
Were you able to recognize that back then?
Dude, no. No. I mean, there's a few outliers where you said, "Man, that kid's special." But I'll be honest, I've seen it both ways. Where you think, somebody is a can't miss, and different things happen. Bodies give up. Injuries happen. So I've seen a lot of kids that left, and I said, "Oh boy, that's the next one," and then things didn't pan out. But then there's the other ones too. There you go. Boy, with the right coaching at the next level, that could really blossom into something. And I'll be honest, man. Again, that's the heartstring stuff that I'm talking about. That is really fun to be able to witness that kind of stuff at the high school level and see them grow. And I'll be honest, that's even in season sometimes. You see a kid come off his 6th man coming off the bench, and all of a sudden, by this team that's going on a state run, now he's the leading scorer, and it happens. So I got chills again, man. So I'll be honest, it's super fun. I'm super excited for the opportunity, grateful, and I'm ready to roll, man. I'm going to tell you a story, and this is not about a Council Bluffs athlete. It's an athlete from the central part of the state, but ended up making his way over here. So sophomore in high school, there's a young man playing, and coaches are real high on him. He's playing basketball. Coaches are high on him. They've actually arranged for him to go to the local 4-year school and practice with the men's team over there. They're high on him. And I'm saying, he's okay, and he's got some good moves, but just how good is he? I don't know. And then my radio career takes me to different places, so I don't see him all the way through his junior and senior year. I do see him. That team makes it to the state tournament, and I'm up there. And then he gets recruited and goes and plays for Creighton. And
explodes.
Okay, yeah.
That was Kyle Korver.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Pella.
Yeah, it played at Pella.
Yeah,
and
sure.
and actually going back that far, do you remember the point guard back then? His name was Michael Lindemann.
Oh,
And
no,
Michael
okay.
Lindemann played for Iowa Falls.
Okay.
And again, Michael Lindemann had a great
Sure.
career. He played on the same team as Nick Collison.
Okay.
And who has since
Dang.
had his number retired
Yeah,
for the Oklahoma
no
City
doubt.
Thunder. So that, looking back and seeing that now, we've got that happening here.
Dude, for sure.
You know?
Well, and I will say, like I mentioned, that if it was easy to project players, the NFL would be in a lot different situation,
right?
right?
That's a fair statement.
I
right
mean,
there,
to be
yeah.
honest with you, I mean, I don't know. There are a lot of variables that go into an athlete's development, but there are the few. I mentioned Jake Waters, right?
Yeah.
What I didn't mention was that at the time that Jake was early in his career at St. Albert, Jim Duggan was the head coach for the football program at St. Albert at that time. And I remember a young kid running through the quarterback drills, mimicking Jake's moves. I'm telling you, I was like, oh, who's that little kid? And they said, oh, look out. That was Jim's son, who just so happened to be a Heisman finalist. And that was, I mean, I don't know, he might have been in grade school at that time. And the St. Albert coaches knew. They knew. They said he's going to be a stud. And sure enough, it happened. So there are those few outliers that I think coaches that are really good at what they do must know what they're looking at.
They see it. So coaches, any athletic directors or activities directors in town, we need your help. And we're going to be reaching out. We're going to be talking to you. We want to create something that supports the community, that feeds information into the community, and that the community can be proud of. That's the whole point to this. It's not about Craig. It's not about me. It's not about local stream media. It's not about any of that. It's about the community, and it's about the young people who are out there representing the community.
No
We've got some tremendous athletes that we're going to be seeing going into the next level. The first one that jumps out into my mind is Logan Jones. We're going to see, is he going first round? I think he probably is.
Sure.
So,
they got a little pipeline going on over at Lewis Central now, man. It's
a little
crazy.
bit, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Division I talent left and right now.
Yeah, so there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
And we are excited to be able to do that. We are I know that the AL boys are having a heck of a year this year, and we're excited to talk about that. And everything else that is going on inside of Council Bluffs in the sports world, from the high schools on up to the college. Might even talk a little semi-pro soccer.
Sure.
Maybe even bring up the rodeo.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah,
we'll see how this goes.
Absolutely.
But this is fun, and it's also a little intimidating, to be honest with you.
Well, you kind of put it in perspective for me, to be honest with you. I had kind of told you some of my reservations. It's been a really long time since I've been in front of a camera in this capacity, and while I was honored, I wasn't really sure about it. But when you said, hey, man, we're just here to have fun and fill people in on what's going on, I thought, you know what? Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, let's have fun, inform people, celebrate what's going on, and watch some amazing runs statewide.
Yeah, don't get too used to how the show looks in episode 1, because chances are by episode 50 it's going to have a different look. Because we're going to learn, and we're going to keep dialing things in, and we're just going to keep getting better. But Craig, I'm so grateful that you agreed to come out and do this. It's encouraging to know that there are like-minded folks in town. And you're not the only one. There's others out there too. But when you came on and it said, yes, let's do this, my heart lifted a little bit that day. It truly did. I'm starting to sound like a Dr. Seuss book here. But it's I'm thrilled to have you with us. And as I just said a little bit ago, let's go have some fun.
Well, like I said multiple times, I'm really honored that I was even called, to be honest with you. And did you fill them in on the name of the show yet?
Yeah, Bluffs Sports Weekly.
Yes, okay.
Presented by Waldstein Plumbing.
Yeah, and there's when we had talked about some possible names, there was kind of a reason that I wanted to keep that Bluff Sports part, to kind of hopefully bring in some former audience members from the Bluff Sports Zone days, and kind of tie into some built equity that way. But yeah, man, like you said, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about what we're doing here. It's about the athletes. And that was the heartstring that you pulled, and they deserve it. Absolutely 100% deserve the platform to celebrate what's going on. So honored and super excited to get going.
That's the perfect out. He's Craig Carlsen. Thank you so much, sir. And let's get this thing launched.
Let's go.
Well, as we mentioned, it is going to be Bluffs Sports Weekly presented by Waldstein Plumbing, and they are here to help you with leaks, clogged drains, or a big remodel. They've got you covered with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship. Small repairs, major installations, doesn't matter because they are locally owned and trusted and take pride in doing the job right the first time. Visit their website, waldsteinplumbing.com. And good mornings start with peace of mind. Miners Healthcare provides professional, in-home support where it matters most, helping individuals maintain comfort, dignity, and independence in their daily lives. Their experienced nursing team focuses on personalized care, clear communication, and supporting families through every step of the process. It's healthcare that's built on trust, compassion, and real relationships. Learn more about their services at minershealthcare.com. Thanks again, Craig, for coming in and joining us, and we are excited to get Bluffs Sports Weekly, presented by Waldstein Plumbing, off and running, and I know that there's been a lot of buzz about this show around the community, and we'll be making that launch date announcement coming up very soon. That wraps up today's show. My name's Todd Studer, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.